By the looks of my watch, it's officially grave time. Today I'm in El Dorado County at the El Dorado Cemetery. I decided to experiment a little bit with my 16-year-old Sony Handycam, which I used back in the day to film concerts. But this is the first time I've ever filmed something outdoors, especially a cemetery. And as I struggle to figure out the resolution on the camcorder, not trying to make it completely whitewashed or really dark, I'm learning as I go. And you'll see throughout this video that it's not the best because it's not HD quality. It's old technology. And sometimes old technology is a lot better than newer technology. Anyways, this is my fourth visit to this cemetery, and buried here is a professional baseball player. So stick around and I'll show you his grave and I'll tell you about his life. This particular cemetery, the first burial that took place here, was in 1849. That's right, folks. This cemetery dates back to the days of the gold rush. This is gold country, by the way. And this area was actually known as Mud Springs. And that's what the cemetery was originally called, Mud Springs Cemetery. And I don't know exactly when it went from that name to El Dorado Cemetery, but that's what I was able to find online, and it's a beautiful cemetery. A lot of interesting people are buried here, a lot of people from the old gold rush days, a lot of Freemasons, Oddfellows, everything in between that. Up ahead here, I see a tree stump. However, it's not. It's a tombstone that's shaped like a tree stump. What a concept. But seriously, this is from the Woodmen of the World. It was a fraternal organization that started in 1890 out of Omaha, Nebraska. Majority of the people that were members were loggers. And something interesting about their particular tombstones. A physical legacy of the organization are tree stones, or tree stump tombstones, marking the grave of a woodman of the world. The sawed-off limbs represent a life cut short. These headstones were used until 1920s. So there you go. Interesting history right there. I find these quite a bit in a lot of cemeteries I visit, at least one in every cemetery that I've been to. And if you come across one, check them out. They're absolutely stunning. Really great craftsmanship done on the stone to make it look like real wood. Simply amazing. Now, I'm going to show you the grave of the professional baseball player buried here in the El Dorado Cemetery. And I'm going to butcher his name, but I'm going to try my best to say it anyways. DeWitt Willie LeBourveau. Well, I don't know if it's pronounced that way or not, but his nickname was Bevo, and that's a lot easier to say. So I'm going to refer to him as Bevo. Now, Bevo was born on August 24th, 1896 in Dana, California, and passed away December 9th, 1947 at the age of 51 years old in Nevada City, California. Bevo was an outfielder who appeared in 280 minor league games played and 1,584 contests in minor league baseball over 17 seasons from 1918 through 1934. He stood 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighed 175 pounds, batted left-handed and threw right-handed. Bevo compiled a .349 lifetime batting average in the minors, leading the top-level American Association twice in hitting as a member of the Toledo Mudhens. That was during the Casey Stengel era in 1926, and then once again in 1930. Each season he exceeded 100 runs batted in, the only times he passed the century mark in RBIs during his career. His major league career began in 1919 through 1922, playing a total of 268 games for the Philadelphia Phillies. After that, he played for 1 or 2 games for the New York Giants. They didn't like him, so he went back to the minors. And then he got his last shot playing for the pros in 1929 when Connie Mack, that's right, legendary manager Connie Mack, needed an outfielder, and he found the best man possible. That was Bevo. Bevo played in the 1929 World Series with the Philadelphia Athletics against the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs lost, and the Athletics won. And it's awesome to be at the grave of a man who won in the 1929 World Series with the Philadelphia Athletics. Due to my footage being very grainy and still trying to figure out the resolution looking at his grave, this is a particular picture that was submitted to findagrave.com. This is a better view of what his actual grave looks like. Last year, February of 2022, when I was here at the cemetery looking for his grave, when I came across it, it was buried under about half an inch of dirt, rock, and leaves. I had to use my shoe to scrape it away, and then eventually found a tree branch with some leaves on it to kind of sweep it and try to get it as nice and clean as possible so other people could see it if they knew where he was at. And so this is what it looked like from my attempt to clean his grave marker. Bevo eventually left professional baseball and moved to Placerville with his family. There he became a police officer, but he did continue playing sports such as golf and bowling. He had served as the head of both the Eagles Lodge and the American Legion in Placerville, and was also a member of the Masonic Lodge. Before I end this video, there is one more grave that I would like to introduce to you all that I've only mentioned maybe once before in a previous Grave Time episode. And that is, here in this cemetery, they have a zinc grave, otherwise known to us cemetery enthusiasts as a zinky. These grave markers that really stand out. Back in the 1870s, a new form of grave marker came on the market. Instead of stone marker, you could order a less expensive monument made of zinc, which at the time was the lowest priced metals. The creators of this monument sand-blasted the zinc to create a matted finish meant to resemble stone. The marketing played up the lower cost and suggested that these metal markers would actually be much more durable than stone, even as durable as the pyramids, supposedly. The marketing materials referred to the metals as white bronze, which had a classier ring to it than the term zinc. Now, the company that made the zinc graves, otherwise known as white bronze, was a company called Monument Bronze Company, based out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. The company would work with other companies in other states and in Canada. This company produced zinc grave markers from 1874 to 1914. Their claim was that their zinc monuments were imperishable by nature and ever enduring in beauty. To get the distinctive blue-gray color, the metal would be cast and then sandblasted. Next to the surface would be covered with linseed oil, and it would hit stream under high pressure. This particular process was called steam bluing. If you're ever at a cemetery and you see one of these zinc graves, perhaps try to look down at the bottom base of the grave marker to see if there's an imprint of what company particularly made this product. In the Sacramento City Cemetery, there is one of these. However, down the bottom, it says it was made by a company in Minnesota. Well, that just about does it here at the Dorado Cemetery here in El Dorado County. Today's visit, we got to see Bevo, a professional baseball player who won in the 1929 World Series with the Philadelphia Athletics. We also got to see a Woodman of the World Tree-Stump Tombstone and a Zinc Grave, otherwise known as white bronze, also known as a Zinky. Thank you everybody for watching this episode of Grave Time. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you can be in the loop of the next Grave Time adventure. Until next time, thank you, God bless you all, and have a wonderful day. And be sure to check out the cemeteries near you, because there's a lot of interesting history and there are a lot of forgotten people there who would love for someone to remember them.